Today it's ASR. Few last steps were pending. I'll show it to them. I'll show it to you guys rather. Then we'll complete. We'll take some questions on again backup and disaster recovery. We'll start with migration theory, not the practical migration theory, and then we'll go towards migration. This is the agenda for today and tomorrow, and it may continue next week also. That depends how many questions do you guys have. Before that, I'm happy to inform you guys that we members from this batch, they have already started giving interviews. Three of them, one of them have already cleared, have got the offer. He'll be joining in January or last week of December. Second, there was one more candidate. I'm just using he and she because people, they do not want to give their name as of now. They're not comfortable. So one more member. That member attempted the interview. First round was clear. In second round, why am I sharing this? Because this is something new which has occurred. So it was a good learning for me also and for the candidate also. And luckily, interview has been cleared. So there's no harm in sharing it now. I'm still not sharing the name. So in second round, they asked the candidate to create a presentation stating that what is your current role in your current project. And if you're showing that you're not working somewhere, they will ask you what was your current role or what was your previous role in your previous project. So what you used to do. Obviously, they're going to ask you this in verbal thing also, but they wanted a presentation. So candidate reached out to me and I'm telling it to all of you. Do not hesitate. Reach out to me. Even if it takes time, I will take my time, but I will help you in this. Because if you prepare one presentation which is not up to the mark, then it will be it could be a negative impact, right? I'll help you. Maybe I won't do it for you completely, but I'll give you the skeleton sketch or something which you can use and fill it for the further information, and you can do your work and you can present it in your interview. And I'll also show it to you that how to present it, which is very important. So we created a presentation and we had a one-on-one session. I wanted to invite a few of you, but I told you already that for the interviews, mocks, and these type of events, I'll only invite if the candidate is comfortable. In this case, candidate wasn't comfortable, so I did not invite any one of you. But now the interview has been cleared, that round at least. So I'm showing it to you. What was the presentation? It was very simple question. I have already put the question, and they said that they're gonna give only 15 minutes for the presentation. Hence, we created only 3 slides. If they would have said more time, we would have created more slides, right? Here we had candidate's name. So here they asked to present the Azure project life cycle and highlight your role in that. What was your role in your project? So this is how we created. First introduction, that I am an Azure cloud engineer. If you are showing consultant, if you are showing architect, I'm sure no one is showing architect, but whatever you are showing, system administrator, cloud engineer, cloud administrator, you can put it. In my expertise here, here we had to lie a little bit. I mean, depends on the interview and interviewer and their expectation. Here they were expecting a little bit of designing also, so we had to put that. In your case, you can purely stick to implementation. Uh, because if you're targeting for a higher package, they would expect a little bit of designing. Till 20 LPA, they're happy with implementation. Above 20 LPA, they would expect some designing, right? So you can mention that you are a part of designing an implementation part. In case, you can simply say implementation of solutions that are not only scalable but also prioritize security within dynamic and evolving environment. This I have written, but if you don't understand, I do take session and I explain it to you, that how do you have to explain it to your interviewer. You cannot simply write all these jargons and heavy words and give it to the interviewer. इंटरव्यू में आप ये नहीं कर सकते हो कि इसको ओपन करके छोड़ दिया, okay, this is how it is, this is my presentation, take it. No, this is not the way you will present. You will have to elaborate and explain each and everything what you have written here. So what I do, I give you this kind of template. Either it's your job, either you get connect with me and understand that what do I mean when I have written this here, or you rephrase it in your own language and explain it. But keep one thing in your mind, that you cannot simply just send the presentation and leave it, and they cannot expect कि वो आपका round वैसे ही clear हो जाएगा. You'll have to present it. So make sure every word you write from here till here, you know that what are you writing. You should be able to explain. ये नहीं होना चाहिए आप ही के presentation में कुछ है that you have written this, that prioritize security within the dynamic and evolving environment. And if someone is asking you to explain this sentence, that what do you mean by this? Give some example. You don't know that. That should not be the case. It's a clear reject, right? So either you rephrase it in your own terms, or whatever I give you, you get in touch with me. I'll explain it to you. Then you talk about your primary roles, that whether you're deploying, you're designing, whatever you're doing. Look at this. We simply just mentioned once about designing, and then we went to implementation because we wanted to target implementation more. It is their requirement designing, it's okay, but we are targeting implementation. Then whatever implementation you do, all this information you can mention here. You can talk about IRL, DRL. This is isn't a part of, these aren't a part of your administrator. IRL is information request list. It's part of designing. Again, before designing, you ask some question. We'll cover this before we start migration. I'm going to show you this also once, though it's not part of your job. Implementation team doesn't do that, but I will show it to you like we have been doing. मैं हमेशा आपको बताता हूँ कि आपके पास आने से पहले होता क्या है, right? So I'll show it to you. Don't worry. IRL, DRL, I'll show it to you. So this is how you can present. Now I'm not going into depth of this because this is specifically made for that job profile, or against that JD, job description, right? So you cannot use it. Maybe you can use the template. That's fine. If you want, I'll send it to you guys. I've already sanitized it. When I say I want to sanitize some document, that means I want to remove the name, candidate's name, company's name, few personal information with regard to candidate or company. When I remove it, and then it becomes a generic document. So that is what a sanitization of documents. It's not my term. It's normally used even in when you go for an interview, and if someone asks you that, have you ever created SOP, have you ever sanitized the document, you should know. Whether you say yes, you don't say yes, it's okay, but you should know. You should at least understand the question. So whenever I say that I want to sanitize the document, it means I want to remove the personal information of candidate, company, project, their numbers, maybe it's some IP address. This is very small presentation, but if you look for a bigger number, you will see computer names, IP addresses, etc. So sanitizing documents itself is a bigger task. Okay? So if they ask, you can say yes, you can say no, however you want it. But you should understand the question first. Is it clear, guys, to everyone? Yes, yes. Any doubts, any questions here?
Yeah.
It's clear to everyone, right? Okay. Now, next thing, one more candidate. 3 candidates we are talking about here. First candidate already got offered. This is the second candidate I'm talking about. It is in progress. This round has been cleared. The one which we are discussing, it has been cleared. One more round is there. Now, next one is one more candidate has attempted the interview yesterday. Luckily, I managed to record that interview, but again, I have to sanitize that recording as well. It is a verbal interview, right? And one more thing we got to learn, even I saw that something new. That interviewer conducted an interview almost for 45 minutes, audio interview. I'll share that file with you once I sanitize. And again, when I say sanitizing an audio file, whenever the names are there, I'll have to either delete that or add a beep sound, company's name, candidate's current company's name, right? Uh, if candidate is comfortable, I'll put it. If not, and I'm sure no one is comfortable sharing their details, right? So I'll have to sanitize that audio and then I'll share it with you. So after 45 minutes of an audio call, uh, that interviewer on the team itself switched to chatting. That okay, let's do a scenario that I am a client and I have some question, but I'm busy in meeting, so I cannot continue with you over the call, but I'm looking for some help. And then that's how he started the interview over the chat. Okay, I want to do the backup, and the questions all related to backup. Whatever we have been discussing last week, they were the exact same questions. That where do I check backup? What if I'm not able to do the backup? What are the troubleshootings, etc. Basic things. Though I did not cover that, but I told you guys to go here, right? I told you guys go here and always look for this diagnose and problem, and you will get your scenarios. So the scenario was from one of here. If that candidate would have practiced from here, it would have been easy. Though the interview was good, and I am hoping for a positive result in that. But the one of the scenarios which he shared, it was from this chat, from this window, diagnose and problem solving. And to be very honest, an interviewer doesn't look for a solution. Interview में या first time में कोई भी exact solution नहीं देख रहा. They are looking at your approach, that how do you troubleshoot, what kind of questions do you probe, what is your strategy. That is what they evaluate you for, right? So I was again showing you this one. Now look at this. This is one of the document I have sanitized, and this is what this was from one of my freelancing project. uh, so look at this. Now, if you have to, and this is one of the deliverables, one of the projects, I mean, one of the documents. Like this, we provide 10 or 15 decks. One has 54. Now imagine you have to sanitize this document, right? So it is also a good task. Do not take it very lightly. So if someone is asking that, have you ever sanitized the document? Don't just imagine this document. हाँ क्या 3 पेज का है तो ये होगा यार, यहाँ पर नाम हटा दिया, यहाँ पर चेक कर लिया. No, that is the reason I'm showing it to you. So imagine now you have to remove names from here. One group can have multiple companies, so here I have to change those, right? I have to make sure that I'm not putting any of their information, any of their IP address, because all these files and everything, when we actually create it, now here I have replaced it with my company's name, UT-Kloud. Here, when I am presenting it to you, or I'm handing over to my client, it was their name. For example, this is just an example. Let's say I'm doing it for HDFC, right? So this is how I will give it to them. Right? Now I have sanitized it, so I've replaced it with my company's name. So when they ask that, have you sanitized the document? Now look at this. Here we had actual location. So I had to change this map also. This is not a random map. This is the actual location we had of their data center. That company had 7 data centers and we had to work for them. We were planning one migration for their 7 data centers to cloud. This was a very interesting project. If we get time later on, I'll explain it to you. Not a part of 104 at all. Definitely not a part of. So this we might do out of curiosity after your course. Anyone who's interested, we might collect 4 or 5 people and we can do it. Okay. So look at this, the square group. Here we had the actual name. Right? This was one of the Gulf client. So we had the actual location. So we had to change those locations also. So this is how you sanitize a document. Here we had the complete information. Here we had the information. So when you have to sanitize a document, this is how you do. So if they ask you that, have you ever sanitized the document? Do not say yes. It's not your job. You say, I know the concept, but I've never got a chance to work on that. Now here I had a video diagram and there were too many amendments. Hence I just removed that diagram. This is also a video diagram. By the way, this actual map, you can create it from video. You guys do not have to worry about it, but you should know how a video looks. And I'm sure you guys know it by now, right? I've already shown you video diagram. I'm sure you know that whatever we were looking at this, these are video diagrams. Let me share it with you. I'm sure you have seen it, but I'm not sure if you know what it is. This is video. Like we have MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, etc. We have MS Video. Mostly we use that for creating diagrams. Is it clear, guys, till here? Because now we are at the end,
Which
hence I'm sharing all this information with you. So at least you should, nothing should be alien concept to you. Yes, sorry, someone was asking.
I'm so sorry, Sohail. I was asking about the same video.
Hmm.
I have listened it for the first time from you. So what exactly we can do on it?
No, you don't have to do anything. You should just know the tool. This is the tool. We
Acha.
can create all these diagrams. This is Visio, the one which you're looking at. This is not Microsoft Word. This is not Microsoft Excel. This is not PowerPoint. This is Visio, MS Visio. Like we have Word, we have Excel, right? We have PPT. Similarly, we have Visio. This is a Microsoft tool.
And it is also required license
So
for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. You won't get it for free. You don't have to do anything. You will get your diagram mostly in Visio. Everything I have created here, it is in Visio. Visio will have all these icons and everything. Everything will be here. See, if let's say I want to uh, create a new diagram, I'm planning something for a client and I'm talking about, okay, we are going to have disk, we are going to have snapshot. So instead of writing, I will be getting all these icons here. I can change their color, I can have connector, etc. Everything. So this is for detail technical diagram. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to create anything. You don't even have to say that you know it. What you need is just to know कि हाँ एक video नाम की चीज होती है. Like now Nirmal, after these many days of practicing, Nirmal doesn't know what is Visio. I mean, I did not show it. I'm not saying that she did not uh, focus. I did not show it. But even you guys, you have been working on this, right? I showed you this diagram so many times, but I did not tell you guys what it is. So अगर इंटरव्यू में क्वेश्चन आ भी जाता, have you worked on Visio? आप सोचते यार क्या है Visio? No, we have not worked. So that should not be the case. Simply say yes, I have worked on Visio, as in I cannot create a diagram, but I can understand it, I can read it, and I'm sure you guys can do that. Now, if I tell you, if I give you this diagram, I am sure you guys can read it, right? If I tell you that, can you guys explain it to me what it is? If I tell you that, can you guys explain it to me what it is? Can you guys do this? Can you guys read it for me? Read this diagram. That what am I trying to see here? What am I trying to say here?
It's a VPN connection which we have to build via
What are the
gateway
components
subnet.
involved in this diagram? As per this diagram, what are the components would you require?
Okay, so it's a gateway subnet and REP
VNet,
VNet.
Yes.
We require VNet. We
Where is
require
VNet?
gateway.
VMs,
We require virtual machine. We require VNet. We require virtual machine. We require gateway subnet. Okay, we require VNG. We require LNG.
What is VNG?
Virtual network gateway.
What is LNG?
And LNG is local network gateway.
Perfect. That's all. This is what the expectation is from an implementation engineer or an Azure administrator. I'm not expecting from you to come here and create a diagram. We have architect team for that. So when someone says that, have you worked on, can you work on Visio? Yes, you can, in terms of reading and in terms of a little bit here and there. If they say, okay, in diagram, I see 5 machines, I wanted 6, simple. You can just create one more, move it here and there. Basic information you can do. Okay, even if you can't do, that's completely fine. We are not learning Visio here, by the way. So don't even ask how are we doing that. If you want to learn that, you can do that watching YouTube or just but you'll need license for that. So don't get into that. Completely do not get into that. That's completely fine. You can simply say, yes, I have worked on Visio. We used to get our diagram, our low-level diagram in email, and most of the time they are in PPT and Visio. Clear to everyone?
Thank you so much, Sohail. Sohail, I have one question. Can I ask?
Yes.
सोहेल, जैसे कि Azure एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लिए अभी आपने हमको जो जो टॉपिक सिखाए हैं, ठीक है, माइग्रेशन सिखाया, वीनेट पेयरिंग, VPN, ये सब कुछ हमने किया है.
No,
हाँ जी, अभी आप मतलब सिखाओ. हाँ जी, मतलब आप सिखाओगे, है ना? तो मैंने नौकरी के ऊपर कल थोड़ा मतलब R&D किया, जिसमें मतलब Azure एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लिए मैं सर्च कर रही थी, लेकिन जो JD था उसके अंदर CDI पाइपलाइन और उसके अलावा बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें थी जो Azure एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में मतलब कि नहीं होनी चाहिए थी. वो डेवऑप्स में होनी चाहिए थे, लेकिन वो Azure एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में आ रहा था. तो कैसे मतलब इसको ये करेंगे हम लोग?
So you can't control what an HR person is writing in JD. I'll share JDs with you. यहाँ पर पूरा का पूरा IT department एक JD में मांग रखा है. You can't control that. You are responsible only for things which you have mentioned in your resume. No one is judging you for a new technology which he or she wants. Right? I want CI/CD, but you do not have CI/CD. It's fine. It's okay. Either I'll accept you, I'll reject you. That's a second thing. But I will judge you on things which you have mentioned in your resume. You have mentioned VNet, I'll ask you about VNet. You have mentioned migration, I'll ask you about migration. You have mentioned backup, storage, ASR, I will ask you about those. You have mentioned VM, you have mentioned virtual machines, I will ask you about virtual machines. Simple. Something which you have not mentioned, you do not know that. If they are asking, you can say, as of now, I have not got chance to work, but if given a chance, I'll read about it and I'll work on it. They never get a candidate with everything, a candidate who knows everything. कभी नहीं मिलने वाला है उनको. It never happens.
तो हाँ जी, तो ये सारी चीजें जब जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन में आती है, तो जो हम सीख रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो कॉन्फिडेंटली फिर हम मतलब उसी के ऊपर फोकस करें और वही हम लोग इंटरव्यू में कॉन्फिडेंटली मतलब जवाब दे सकते हैं कि हाँ
Obviously,
हमने ये
what
सब
else?
कुछ किया है.
If you have
हाँ
not
जी.
worked on CI/CD, how will you answer?
हाँ,
Why will you
करेक्ट.
answer? You'll simply say that I
हाँ
have not worked on that and do not mention it in your resume. Simple.
हाँ जी, करेक्ट करेक्ट. बस
Okay,
ये मुझे
because
थोड़ा
when you
सा एक
give your
डाउट था.
resume, they are also doing a screening. If they are calling you for a first round of interview, a technical one, They know their JD, right? उनका JD तो खुद उन्होंने ही बनाया है. They have asked
हाँ जी,
CI/CD,
करेक्ट.
Kubernetes, etc. और उन्होंने आपका resume भी पढ़ लिया है. That you have not worked on it, and still they have called you for the interview. What does it mean? It means that whatever you have mentioned on your resume, if you are good with that, then they will think that you're capable enough to learn those things also. कि ठीक है, इसको इतना सब आता है, इसको ले लो टीम में. CI/CD के बहुत 2-4 टास्क है छोटे से, वो हम इसको बता देंगे. This is how it works.
अच्छा, ओके.
Okay? Okay, guys. So yes, this is all. That's all I wanted to share with you. Recording, not promising today, tomorrow, whenever I get time in this week, I'll share it with you guys. I'm gonna upload it on the YouTube. You can watch it from there. Once I sanitize that document, this one I'll share it with you if you want. Otherwise, koi khas, it's not very useful because I'm sure you are not getting the same scenario. Even if you get, you are not using the same. But still, if you want, I can share it with you.
सोहेल, प्लीज आप ये शेयर करके रखिए.
I'll do that. Okay, now coming back to our topic. Last time we discussed backup. Last time is not last session, but we have been discussing backup and restore. We are done with that. I see a few people have done it. And I think only one person has done this deleting of backup vault. No one has shared a screenshot till now for deleting a backup vault. Right? Zareen has done that. I checked it. It was good. So try deleting a backup vault using PowerShell script, guys. Try doing that once. It will be very helpful for you. Try backing up a server, try restoring that, right? If you guys want, okay, last time we were discussing that. If you guys want, I can start putting those tasks for you here. If you guys want me to do that, I can do that. It's very simple. That, okay, create a virtual machine, have 2 days, take backup, restore the machine, take backup, restore this file. I can do that, but I'm sure you guys also know it. So you don't, there should not be any dependency कि मैं आप लोगों को task दूंगा. You know it by now. Initially, it was okay because you guys did not know it, but now we are in the end of the session. Hardly 2 or 3 sessions are pending. So now I'm expecting from you guys, just look at the screen and you should know what you need to do. And I have done that already in the recording. At least follow the same, repeat the same practical, but do that once. Unless you click on those things, you will not get questions and you will not understand and you will not remember them in your interview. That is the biggest key. You do it and you will remember that very quickly. कि हाँ मैंने यहाँ पर क्लिक किया था, I got this error, ऐसे हुआ था वैसे हुआ था, वो याद आ जाता है. Okay, so we did backup and restore. Then we discussed about ASR, Azure Site Recovery, or DR. It is called disaster recovery. Do you guys have any questions on DR?
Sohail, I have one question.
Yes.
If we taken a backup of VM,
Mhm.
from one recovery vault, can we shift it to another recovery vault?
No, you cannot. You'll have to stop the. A good question. You'll have to stop the backup completely. You'll have to delete the backup and then you can move it. Even if your backup is there,
Yes.
you have stopped the backup and backup is there in one vault, you cannot attach this machine in the second vault. You'll have to delete the backup completely. But you will not leave your machine without any backup. In that case, I remember one of the scenario exact, though it's not mine, a very genuine disclaimer, it's not my example, someone else's. But it was a good example that they wanted to move it. But the point here is that now if I want to move my backup vault, I'll have to delete all my backup. Okay. Now let's say that I have a machine and I want to move the backup vault from A to B. First thing, what am I saying? I'll have to stop the backup. It's a production machine. I cannot take that risk. Second thing I'm saying, I'll have to delete the backup, existing backup. 14 days का backup delete भी करना पड़ेगा. आई सेड ओके चलो कर दो 14 डेज का बैकअप एक दिन में डिलीट कर दो, स्टॉप भी कर दो और उसको आज ही जो है किसी और वॉल्ट में मूव कर दो. I did it successfully and suddenly let's say machine is down or something and I want to restore it from last 2 days. I do not have anything. So in this case you take the manual backup. You delete the backup completely. 14 days तक आप मैनुअल बैकअप लेते रहो. जब आपका मैनुअल आपके पास सेव रहेगा, राइट, मैनुअल बैकअप एज इन कोई बैकअप वॉल्ट बनाकर भी नहीं, डायरेक्टली स्नैपशॉट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट. कोई बैकअप वॉल्ट का हिस्सा नहीं रहेगा मशीन. देन यू डिलीट एवरीथिंग एंड देन यू एड इट टू द न्यू वॉल्ट. सो एटलीस्ट इफ समथिंग गोज रॉन्ग, आपके पास 14 डेज का डेटा है, तो ये पूरी एक्टिविटी में ही जो है ना आपको 1 मंथ लग जाएगा. I'll tell you. Let me explain it to you. Because only 10 minutes are left. When we come back, we'll start with DR. Meanwhile, if you guys have any questions on DR, वो भी पूछ लो आप लोग. So let's say this is a machine. ठीक, ये इस बैकअप वॉल्ट का हिस्सा है. And now it is being backed up. 1 2 3 4 5 इस तरह से 14 डेज का बैकअप है. I want to switch it to this backup vault, but I cannot do that. जब तक ये मशीन इसका हिस्सा है, I cannot do that. And if I remove this machine and put it here, before that I'll have to delete this one also. I cannot keep this. इसको यहाँ पर soft delete में होगा तब भी नहीं होगा. I'll have to delete it completely, and then only I can move my machine here. So if I delete it here today, and if I start backing up my machine today here in this new backup vault, तो मेरे पास कितने दिन का बैकअप है अभी? It's a production machine, okay? Very crucial machine. So how many days backup do I have if I want to move this machine from here? So इसको मुझको पूरा delete करना पड़ेगा. So do I have any backup?
No, we don't
0
have
days
it.
backup, which is definitely not a good idea. Right? And there is no way कि मैं इनको रख के यहाँ पर 14 days का backup कर लूँ. There is no way. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to start taking, इसको यहीं पे रखना है. Then start taking manual backup out of the vault. Out of vault भी backup होते हैं, right? एक ले लिया, 2 ले लिया, यहाँ पर 3 ले लिया, तब तक यहाँ पर भी हो रहा है. Fine, I'm happy with it. 4 5 हर दिन आकर मैं यहाँ पर एक बैकअप ले रहा हूँ. Now I have a fresh list of backup. 10 दिन का हो गया. Now let's move this machine out of vault. यहाँ पर ले आओ इस मशीन को, इनको पूरा डिलीट कर दो. This machine is free, but you still have your manual backups. Maybe 1-2 दिन और ले लो आप manual backups आगे. And now you move this machine here. अब फिर आपका बैकअप यहाँ पर शुरू हो जाएगा. Your backup will start here. But meanwhile, if something goes wrong, आपके पास ये जो manual backup है ना, जो out of the vault पड़े हुए, those are still there. जैसे कि आपने simple snapshot लेके रखा है, disk का backup ले रखा है, those are still there. So this is how you can do it. Clear guys to
मतलब
everyone?
ये पॉलिसी में इंक्लूड नहीं है, ये
नहीं
इंस्टेंट रिकवरी स्नैपशॉट.
ये जो
वो
बाहर वाला
ये
जो है ना, no,
हाँ
it is not going through your vault. Simple snapshot. यहाँ पर आना है आपको मशीन पे, manual snapshot I'm talking about. कुछ भी आपको नहीं करना है, किसी भी तरह का कोई वॉल्ट वगैरह कुछ नहीं बनाना है. You simply have to come here, open this machine, here, capture. You're not creating any vault, nothing. कुछ नहीं करना है इसमें, आपको बस select करना है and then you simply create it. This is a manual one. ये कोई बैकअप वॉल्ट वगैरह ने कुछ नहीं बनाता. उससे भी ज्यादा आपको और बेसिक इस पे करना है. You come to disk, you go to this disk और इस डिस्क का स्नैपशॉट बना लो. सिंपल. क्लियर है?
यस.
बिकॉज दिस इज अ टेम्परेरी थिंग. होता भी नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आपने इमीडिएटली मूव किया उसी दिन ये होना था, ऐसे बहुत रेयर चांस में होता. बट वी हैव टू बी रेडी फॉर दैट. इसलिए हम ये पूरा प्रोसेस करेंगे. बिकॉज एट एनी गिवन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यू शुड हैव एटलीस्ट 5 to 10 कॉपी बैकअप का होना चाहिए आपके पास फॉर अ प्रोडक्शन ए क्रूशियल सर्वर. गॉट इट गाइस?
Yes.
Any questions
One
on
more
DR?
question.
Yes.
It's not about DR. I was going through some questions. What is gold image? Can you explain?
Gold image is nothing. Let's say, do you guys remember virtual machine scale set?
Yeah.
Yes.
Virtual machine scale set. Here, if I have to create a virtual machine scale set, what did I tell you? That you can simply pick a normal image, and using PowerShell script and extension, you can make sure that all your machines are on the same page. I mean, whenever they are created, PowerShell से उसमें आया, इस role install हो गया और ये extension से ये हो गया, right? That is one method. Another method is you create a machine, उसमें आप सब कुछ अपना install कर दो, and then use this machine. Do you guys remember I used this machine? उसमें automatic CPU tester था,
Yes,
and then
yes.
my website was there. Now this is my golden image. If I want to do anything, want to make any changes, हर OS में जाने से better that I'll come to this golden image, I'll change it here, और then मैं फिर उससे sync करना शुरू कर दूंगा. You do get an option refresh image. तो everything वो वहां से fetch कर लेगा. For example, initially I wanted के port 443 block करना था. Later on I thought के for some reason, business reason, port 443 को open करना है. I'll come to this machine, यहाँ पर open करूंगा, वहां से reimage करूंगा, सब में open हो जाएगा. Got it guys? So this is your
Yes.
golden image, जहां से आप हमेशा चीजें बनाते हो. या फिर जो भी आपका VMSS है उसमें स्केल अप और स्केल डाउन होने वाला, तो वो कहाँ से बनेगा, कहाँ से लेगा वो मशीन? फ्रॉम दिस इमेज. सो इफ यू वांट कि कोई भी नई चीज आनी चाहिए, फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर सम रीजन सर्वर पे होता नहीं है, बट फॉर सम रीजन सर्वर पे आपको MS ऑफिस चाहिए, वर्ड और एक्सेल चाहिए, So instead of installing it in all those machines, you simply come to this golden image, यहाँ पर install कर दो, वहां पर reimage करो, सब में हो जाएगा. Got it? Yes, guys. Any questions on DR? What we have discussed on DR, or till what we have discussed, how to take backup, or sorry, how to set up recovery. We did a failover also, right? I hope you guys remember. And I think some did one of you do the failover, or you didn't?
Yes, sir, I did. But
You did it, right?
I
Yeah,
did
someone
not
shared it. So we did a failover also. यहाँ तक हमने किया था. So let me start replication. I thought I already created replication. Let me check on one of the machines where I had. Let me see. I think I have a machine जहाँ पे मैंने सब कुछ ये कर रखा है, because if I start replication now, it is going to take more 20 to 30 minutes.
सोहेल, जो आपने वन नोट में इंटरव्यूज के क्वेश्चन दिए हैं,
Yes.
मैं साथ साथ में वो भी कर रही हूँ. तो वो मतलब कि जैसे जैसे टॉपिक रिवीजन कर रही हूँ, तो साथ साथ में अलग अलग ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के जो इंटरव्यूज है वो भी देख रही हूँ.
Okay.
तो वो करना मतलब करूँ, या फिर उसको स्किप करके जो आप बता रहे हो कि ये इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है तो वो करूँ, या फिर
They are
वो
not
करूँ?
different. They are not different. I'm picking the questions from them there. From where do you think I get those important questions?
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक
What
है.
is important to me, that is not important. Trust me on this, guys. मुझको क्या important लगता है, that doesn't matter, right? Just because I'm a trainer here, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ जाता कि मुझको important लग रहा है इसलिए वो important है. That is not the case with me. That's not the way how I want to present it. कि मुझको important लग रहा है, पूछा जा रहा है, नहीं पूछा जा रहा है, forget it, just याद कर लो. No. From where do I get these questions? Now I just told you that we experienced 3 interviews. One of them एक candidate ने तो अलग दिया है, but out of those 2 candidates, interview उनका यहीं से हुआ, मेरी classes से हुआ है. And I told you कि उनमें से एक का मेरे पास पूरा recording है. So what do you think I do with that recording? वहां से मैं सारे questions निकालता हूँ और वही मैं आप लोगों के साथ share करता हूँ that this is important. So आप वहां से कर लो या यहाँ से कर लो, same चीज है, उसमें कोई difference नहीं होने वाला है.
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक.
Okay, so guys, only 30 seconds are left. I hope my machine is no one has deleted this. Okay, I got the machine जहाँ पे हमने DR ये कर रखा है. I'll show it to you. Failover वगैरह फिर से हम लोग एक बार आने के बाद करते हैं. We'll take a break of 5 minutes recording को ये होने के लिए, convert होने के लिए. I'll see you guys at 14:45. Same
Okay,
link.
sir, thank you.
Okay, thank you.